You're not here by chance. Listen carefully. This message is not for everyone. If you feel a silent calling in your soul, stay with me. Heaven allowed this video to find you today because you are the warrior God chose. What I am about to reveal will change the course of your life if your heart is open. Stay here. Do not ignore this message, because today the true reason for your battles is revealed. Welcome back, chosen one. Today, at this very moment, the light brought you here by a higher will. Listen to me very carefully, child of God. Only those who seek the highest and feel that calling in their soul should hear what I am about to say. If you're still watching this video, it is because heaven allowed this message to find you at the perfect time. Your steps were guided. What I am about to reveal will confront you and strengthen you. This is a word for the chosen ones and for the strongest among them. Before we continue, I want you to seal this agreement in spirit. If you feel I'm speaking directly to you, leave a comment right now. Write 777 as a sign that you know this message is for you. And if this resonates with your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Share this with someone who needs to awaken. Now, chosen one, stay with me until the end. There is something you must hear when I speak of the strongest chosen one. I am not talking about titles, ego, or who appears more spiritual on the outside. I am talking about those whose spirit has been tempered in the fire. I am talking about people whose hearts were broken and rebuilt by God Himself. People whose obedience was forged in a hidden place where no one could see them. Many are called, but few are chosen. And listen carefully to this. Among the chosen, there is an even smaller group. These are the ones heaven can rely on for the toughest battles and the greatest tasks. The strongest chosen one is not always the loudest. Often, it is a quiet soul watching from the sidelines, seeing what others ignore and feeling what others cannot. Don't go, listen to this calmly. Ever since you were a child, you felt different. You felt like you didn't quite belong in the world around you. While others felt comfortable fitting in, you carried an invisible weight. It was that strange feeling of knowing your life wouldn't be normal. Perhaps they made fun of you for being too sensitive, too deep, or too serious. But that sensitivity wasn't a weakness. It was your spiritual radar. Perhaps you were the one who witnessed your family's disintegration before anyone else. Maybe you felt the darkness in certain places or the confusion in people's words when what they said didn't align with what their spirit felt. You've wept without knowing why, carrying burdens that weren't yours. These are clear signs of spiritual advancement. Stay present, because this is something you need to understand. The strongest chosen ones are born with a heightened sensitivity to the unseen, because their task requires exceptionally keen discernment. Yet the world doesn't celebrate that. That's why you grew up feeling misunderstood, rejected, or even thinking you were cursed. Friendships ended for no reason. Family members grew cold, and people you loved simply couldn't truly see you. But listen carefully. That rejection wasn't a curse. It was a filter from God. God used that rejection to prevent the wrong voices from shaping you. He allowed those doors to close, so your spirit wouldn't be caged in environments that couldn't support the person you're becoming. If you recognize yourself in these words, please like the video. I need to know if you're following this message. Listen carefully and stay put, because what's coming is big. The strongest chosen ones go through training that others don't understand. While many people live comfortably in a dream, you were thrown into battle early on. There's a strange war in your life. The attacks come in patterns. Every time you try to move forward, something tries to pull you back. It's not because you're weak. It's because you're dangerous to the darkness. The enemy identified your potential before you did and decided you should be broken, discouraged, and silenced. But look at the rhythm of your life. How many times have you survived what should have destroyed you? How many times did you think it was the end? And yet you rose again. The strongest among you remained standing after storms that would have killed others. This is a true test of your spiritual stature. Listen carefully to this. True strength isn't shown on easy days. It's shown on those days when you pray with tears, when you worship with a heavy heart, and when you choose God even when you feel completely abandoned. Don't go away, because what I'm about to tell you about your conscience will change your perspective. You've probably noticed that your conscience works differently than most people's. You can't comfortably fail or make a mistake. You can't live in compromise with wrongdoing and feel at peace while others make excuses and carry on as if nothing happened. You feel God's conviction quickly and return to the path again and again. Listen carefully. This isn't because God is being harsh with you. It's because God is protecting the investment He placed within you. The strongest among you are disciplined more rigorously because what they carry within is far more costly. Stay here. Allow this message to sink into your heart. That hidden training you've experienced often feels like loneliness. There have been times when God allowed everyone to withdraw so that you could finally hear His voice clearly. I know it felt like punishment, but it was actually a sacred separation. In those silent nights, when no one answered your calls and no one understood your cries, heaven was teaching you to walk with God as your closest companion. The strongest chosen ones are trained to stand firm even when no one applauds them, when no one validates them, and when no one sees a burden they're carrying. Don't skip this part, because there's a reason behind your closed doors. God kept you away from certain friendships, relationships, or paths that seemed very appealing. You didn't understand why things worked out well for others, but not for you. Listen to me. That was divine protection, not failure. The strongest among you can't get entangled in just any story. Your energy, your time, and your heart must be available for your true purpose. God closed those doors not because you weren't worthy, but because you're too valuable to waste there. Before we continue, I want to ask you something important for your process. If you feel that God is cleansing your circle, write in the comments, "I accept your protection." Do this every time you feel the message resonates deeply within you. Commenting helps your mind solidify what your spirit already knows. Another mark of the strongest chosen one is that you carry the weight of compassion. Even after being betrayed, you still feel the call to love. Even after being misunderstood, you still want to help others heal. Sometimes you may seem serious or reserved on the outside, but inside you have a deep well of mercy. That's why people seek you out to share their pain, their secrets, and their questions. They sense that you carry something stable, something ancient, something secure. That is the Spirit of God resting upon you. Don't close the video now, because there's a restlessness within you that has an explanation. The strongest among us struggle with the feeling of being too big inside. You look at everyday life and feel that you were born for more than just chasing money, seeking attention, or simply surviving. That restlessness isn't empty. Ambition, it's your calling. It's your spirit reminding you that there's a mission in your life yet to be fulfilled. That restlessness you feel won't go away with distractions. Maybe you try to drown it out with entertainment, with too much work, or simply by ignoring it, but it always comes back. That restlessness is heaven knocking at your door. And here's something crucial you need to understand. Your task isn't just about you. Listen to this carefully, because the strongest chosen ones carry missions that affect entire generations. When you finally embrace your true calling, people you don't even know will be set free. Doors will open for others because you chose to walk through your own. Those chains in your lineage, the ones that held your family captive for decades, will finally be broken. That's why the war against you has been so personal, so relentless, and so targeted. It's no coincidence that they're attacking you right where it hurts the most. Don't skip ahead, because I want you to understand something about spiritual rank. Don't confuse spiritual rank with worldly rank. The strongest chosen one may not be rich, famous, or the most beloved person. You may have a simple job and live in a small place where few know you. But in the spirit, when you speak, things change. When you pray, chains are broken. When you enter a room, the atmosphere responds, even if people can't explain why. The unseen world knows who you are long before the visible world recognizes you. True strength is measured by impact, not applause. It's measured by what breaks in the spiritual realm when you appear, not by how many people notice you in the natural world. Breathe. Listen to this calmly. If your memories, your wounds, and those strange patterns in your life resonate with these words, it's not a coincidence. You are beginning to see yourself as heaven has always seen you. You are not crazy. You are not weak. You're not too much. You are a vessel that has been tested ground and preserved for a story much greater than yourself. Before we go on, stay with me, and I want to ask you to comment on what part of this message has resonated most deeply with your soul today. Don't be afraid to write it down. Your testimony could be just what someone else needs to read to regain hope. There is a prophecy concerning your life, and I'm not talking about something vague. I'm talking about a specific task that heaven marked for you before you were born. The enemy has fought with all his might to prevent you from discovering it. Why? Because he knows that when you fully become who you were created to be, entire atmospheres will be transformed. Entire generations will be influenced by your obedience. Chains of addiction, scarcity, or pain that have been your family for decades will be broken. Perhaps in the past you heard promises that seemed too big, or confirmations that confused you more than they encouraged you. The reason you struggle to believe them is because the way of the task didn't match where you were at the time. But listen to this. You weren't ready yet, but you had already been chosen. Now, the season is changing. What was once just a prophetic promise is now becoming a tangible reality. The pieces are aligning. Doors are preparing to open, and the right people are being placed in your path. Stay with me, and pay close attention to what's been happening in your life recently. Have you noticed certain themes recurring? Have specific words or phrases surfaced again and again from different sources? Have you felt that urgency, that pull towards something you can't yet name? These aren't coincidences. They're confirmations. Heaven is speaking to you. It is preparing you and alerting you that your moment is approaching. The strongest chosen ones carry prophecies that require longer preparation than others. Your delay was not a denial of God. It was your development. Do not leave, because this clarifies everything. While you waited in that hidden place, your character was being formed. Your discernment was sharpened, and your spirit was strengthened. Heaven was making sure that, when your moment arrived, you would not collapse under the weight of what you carry. Every battle you survived was a classroom. Every betrayal you overcame was training. Every tear you shed was the anointing oil that prepared you for what's to come. Listen carefully to this. This is why the war has been so intense. When there's a great prophecy about someone, the enemy puts up greater resistance. He throws confusion, delays, false starts, and discouragement at you, hoping you'll give up before the clock strikes 12 on your spiritual clock. But the intensity of your battle is proof of the value of your task. Weak missions don't face strong opposition. Small purposes don't attract big attacks. The fact that you're still here, fighting and seeking answers, proves that what's inside you is too important to be stopped. Don't close the video now, because what I'm about to tell you about God's timing is vital. The rhythm of the Spirit is not random. There are specific moments when heaven opens doors that have been closed for years. There are seasons when, suddenly, everything that seems stagnant begins to move with astonishing speed. It is very likely that you are entering one of those moments right now. But understand this. These moments require your immediate obedience. When God tells you, move, you can't afford to doubt. When He tells you, speak, you can't remain silent. When He tells you, let go, you can't cling to the old. Stay until the very last second, because you must understand that delayed obedience is often a silent disobedience. The strongest among us must fully realize that God's timing is precise. Not every door that opens is meant for you. Listen carefully. Not every opportunity is a blessing. Not every connection that appears is sent by God. Some doors open only as a test to see if you'll try to outpace God's plans. Some opportunities seem good on the outside, but in reality, they'll exhaust you. Some connections seem perfect, but their sole purpose is to derail your mission. Listen carefully to this. You must learn to pause, consult your spirit, and wait. Look for the green light before taking the next step. Don't let desperation make you run faster than God, but don't let fear paralyze you when it's time to move forward. Don't leave, because there is an authority in your life that you must begin to recognize. You are not simply a believer who prays and hopes things will work out. You carry a power that has been delegated to you from heaven. When you speak in accordance with God's will, your words are not carried away by the wind. Your words change things, break chains, and establish realities in the unseen world. But understand this. This authority only works when you live in obedience and purity. Commitment to what is wrong weakens your voice. Sin silences your prayers. Disobedience creates a void between you and heaven that prevents you from hearing. That is why, for you, holiness is not an adornment. It is a necessity. Stay here, because you cannot live like everyone else and expect God to give you an extraordinary anointing. The strongest among you hold yourself to a different standard. Your private life must align with your public prayers. Your thoughts must be in harmony with your words. Even your entertainment choices must reflect the presence of God within you. What you watch, what you listen to, and what you look at on your phone is either fueling your anointing or draining it. Be ruthlessly honest with yourself and acknowledge what is weakening your spiritual strength. Before we continue, I want to give you some practical instructions. If you're one of the strongest chosen ones, there are specific ways you should move this season. Every 8 minutes of this video, I want you to reflect, and if you feel you need to clear your environment, write in the comments, "I clear my path." By declaring this, you are taking authority over your atmosphere. First, nurture your spirit with everything you have. What you allow into your mind will either strengthen or weaken your clarity. Not all conversations are safe. Not all places are healthy. Not everyone should have access to you. Learn to recognize what fuels your peace and what drains it. Listen carefully and don't distance yourself, because there are people in your life right now who feel familiar and comfortable, but if you're honest, every time you spend time with them, you end up feeling spiritually heavy. That heaviness isn't your imagination. It's your spirit warning you that something is wrong. You don't need to make a scene or create drama. You simply need to create space. Step back. Protect your anointing. Protect your energy at all costs. The strongest among us cannot afford to keep pouring their lives into bottomless pits. Listen to me. Your oil is too precious to waste on people who have no intention of changing. Don't leave, because you also need to start being strategic with your time. Stop wasting time on things that have nothing to do with your calling. The enemy doesn't need to destroy you if he can distract you long enough. Your time is a weapon. Use it to pray, to study, to build, and to truly rest. Protect your mornings above all else. What you do in the first hour of your day sets the tone for everything that follows. If you start your morning looking at your phone, reacting to other people's problems, or consuming empty content, you're giving away your strength before the battle even begins. Instead, start in God's presence, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Read something that nourishes your spirit. Declare His promises over your mind, and worship before you begin your work. Stay with me. This isn't a religious ritual. It's strategic spiritual warfare. You're creating your own atmosphere and reminding the world who you belong to before the world tries to tell you who you should be. Protect your peace and protect your focus. There will be people who want to unload all their chaos on you. There will be emergencies that aren't real and crises that aren't yours to solve. Learn to discern between what is your responsibility and what is simply noise. Listen to this carefully. You can't save everyone. You can't fix everyone's life. Setting boundaries isn't a lack of love. Setting boundaries is wisdom. If what I'm saying resonates with you right now, please like this post. I need to know if this message aligns with what you're experiencing. Don't ignore this message. Be very careful about who you allow into your inner circle. The strongest among you cannot afford to make deals with people who normalize sin, mock holiness, or try to drag you back to your past. Love them and pray for them, but don't follow their paths. Not every friendly face is a safe spirit. Some people were sent into your life to help you, but others were sent against you to hold you back. Learn the difference today. Pay attention to how your spirit feels after being with someone. Do you feel lighter or heavier? Do you leave clear-headed or confused? Do you leave inspired or exhausted and discouraged? Your spirit knows the truth, even if your mind tries to come up with 1,000 excuses to justify others. Stop ignoring your discernment just because someone has been in your life for a long time, or because letting them go would be uncomfortable. Stay until the end, because comfortable doesn't always mean right. There are also people. Heaven is trying to send you help, but they can't find you because you're still entangled in connections that aren't yours. When you finally let go of what no longer serve your calling, you create the necessary space for divine alignment. Listen carefully and don't drift away. The right people will find you the moment you stop clinging to the wrong ones. When those people arrive, you'll recognize them immediately. There will be a resonance, a natural flow, and mutual growth. They will truly see you, honor what's inside, and lift you up, not down. But there's something you must understand. Even in the healthiest relationships, the strongest chosen one cannot seek in men what only God can give. Don't make any human being your source of validation, security, or identity. People will fail you. People will disappoint you. And it won't always be because they're bad, but simply because they're human. If your peace depends on the approval of others, you'll never have lasting peace. Your foundation must be in God alone. Stay with me, because distraction is as dangerous to you as sin itself. The enemy knows that if he can't make you fall openly, he'll try to keep you busy, entertained, and spiritually numb. Endless scrolling on your phone, meaningless conversations, constant comparison, and wasting time on empty trends. All of these silently drain your power. They aren't inherently bad, but they become weapons when they steal the time and attention your mission requires. Don't ignore this message. Think about this. How much time do you spend consuming what others have compared to what you should be creating? How much time do you spend reacting to other people's agendas instead of initiating your own? The strongest among us must be intentional with every hour of their lives. Your time is a weapon and must be wielded as such. There is no neutral ground. What you invest your time in either multiplies your impact or diminishes it entirely. Before we continue, I want us to seal this point. If you're committed to being mindful of your words and your time, write in the comments, "I am taking control of my life." This signals to the algorithm and the spiritual realm that you are awake. Guard your words with fear and trembling. The authority you wield means your words carry real weight. You cannot afford to speak carelessly about yourself, your future, or your current situation. Stay here and stop agreeing to the script the enemy wrote for you. Stop saying, "I'm cursed, I have bad luck, nothing ever goes right for me," or "I always fail." Those statements taint your atmosphere. They create a dangerous harmony with darkness and give defeat permission to take root in your home. The strongest among you must learn to prophesy life even when they feel surrounded by death. Even when circumstances seem impossible, your mouth must declare what God has said, not what your eyes are seeing. Listen carefully to this. Speak God's promises over your mind. Declare with authority that you will finish exactly what you were born to do. Bless your path even though it feels difficult. Bless your body even though it feels weak. Bless your future even though it seems uncertain today. Your words today shape your reality tomorrow. Don't close the video now, because what I'm about to tell you about your heart is a serious warning. You must protect your heart from bitterness. The fire you walked through left scars, and the enemy would love to turn those scars into poison. If you let resentment build up, your spirit will harden, and your ears will close to God's voice. Bitterness doesn't harm the people who hurt you. It only destroys you from the inside out. Stay with me, because resentment blocks your blessings and clouds your judgment. It keeps you trapped in a prison of your own making. Forgiveness isn't a feeling. It's an act of pure obedience. It's a choice you make, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. By forgiving, you release those people into God's hands so that your own heart can be set free. Listen carefully. Forgiving doesn't mean allowing them back into your life, nor does it mean pretending the pain never happened. It means refusing to live chained to what they did. It means refusing to let their actions define your future. You choose freedom over revenge and peace over hatred. Don't walk away, because your spiritual stature doesn't allow you to flirt with sin, thinking you won't fall. Small compromises with evil become giant chains. What you flirt with today can possess you tomorrow. When the Spirit convicts you of something, whether it's a habit, a person, or a place, don't argue. Don't delay. Obey quickly. Every time you say yes to that conviction, your discernment grows sharper. Every time you ignore it, your spiritual senses are dulled. Don't skip this step now. You must also take your body seriously. Exhaustion, poor health, and constant neglect of your physical temple will weaken your ability to fulfill your spiritual task. Rest is not laziness. It's a strategy of war. Take care of yourself. Sleep when you need to. Don't glorify being constantly tired as if it were a sign of strength. An exhausted vessel cannot give anything for long. The enemy will gladly use your fatigue as a weapon if you invite him by neglecting yourself. Stay until the very last second, because there's a truth about platforms you need to know. The strongest chosen ones aren't called to seek visibility or applause. You're called to worship God and obey His instructions, regardless of whether He puts you in front of a crowd or in the most hidden place. Fame without unfounded fame is a deadly trap. If God chooses to place you in a prominent position, it will only be because your character has already been tested in secret, where no one could see you. Don't seek popularity. Seek depth. Don't seek to perform for others. Seek purity before God. Let Him open doors for you when His time is right. Stay with me and surround your days with prayer. Talk to God about absolutely everything. Invite Him into your decisions, your schedule. Tell Him your frustrations and your joys. Prayer is the only thing that keeps your spirit aligned and your pride in check. The moment you stop praying, you begin to rely on your own strength. And that's when the enemy's traps start to seem reasonable. Hold on to hope. Listen carefully. These warnings are not meant to frighten you, but to protect you. We need you. The world needs your light, your voice, your healing, and your obedience. Your presence matters immensely at this moment in history. Walk carefully, but never fearfully. Walk with reverence, aware of the weight you carry, but also with a complete confidence that you are not walking alone. Listen carefully and stay put, because the same God who chose you is the one who will protect you if you remain close to Him. The time for spiritual games is over for you. You can no longer pretend you don't know who you are. From now on, every step you take will serve to honor your calling or to run from it. Let these instructions sink into your soul. Adjust what you need to adjust. Let go what you need to let go of, and embrace your destiny. Chosen one, if you are still here listening to these words, it is because your spirit recognizes that this truth belongs to you. You have been through the fire. You have carried burdens no one knows, and you survived battles that tried to wipe you off the map. And yet you still stand. You continue to seek. You continue to listen. That is the ultimate proof that the hand of God has been upon your life from the beginning. Don't close the video now, because you're not just receiving information. You're in a moment of divine activation. Think about everything you've survived. Think about all those times you should have given up, but something inside you refused to throw in the towel. Think about those moments when you had every reason to turn away from God and hope, but you stayed. That wasn't just your strength. It was heaven holding you up, protecting you even when you felt nothing. You've been training your whole life. Every battle was a necessary lesson. Every wound was part of your preparation. Every dark night was getting you ready for the bright days that are now coming. From today forward, I want you to see yourself differently. You are not a mistake. You are not an accident. You are not too much, and you are not too little. You are exactly who heaven needed for this moment in history. You are a mission bearer, a prophecy bearer, one of the strongest among the chosen. Your scars are not a shame. They are marks of what you have overcome. They are living proof that you survived what was designed to destroy you. You are here for a powerful reason. Listen carefully and don't move, because I am blessing you right now. May your mind be cleansed of all confusion. May the fog that surrounds you dissipate right now. May clarity come to you like a lightning bolt, clear and undeniable. May your heart heal from old wounds, from betrayal, from disappointment, and from rejection. May the walls you built to protect yourself crumble in the presence of God. May your steps be guided with divine precision. May you recognize the open doors and have the courage to walk through them without looking back. May you see the closed doors and have the wisdom not to force them open. Stay with me. For today I speak of breaking generational cycles. I speak of freedom from the mental strongholds that hold you back. I speak of restoration for the years that were stolen from you. May courage and holy boldness rise within you like never before. Stop questioning what God has already confirmed to you. Stop apologizing for the calling in your life. Stop diminishing yourself just to make others feel comfortable around you. Walk in the fullness of what you were created to be, without shame and without hesitation. Listen carefully to this. From this very moment, walk as someone sent from heaven, because that is what you are. Walk as if your steps matter, because they do. Walk knowing that people are watching you. Even if you can't see them yet, guard your spirit, honor your task, and never, ever return to that insignificance from which you have already been rescued. Stay until the very last second, because when doubt whispers in your ear, you must remember this word. When war breaks out, remember who you are. When people try to imprison you, remember that God called you to kingdoms, not cages. If this is spoken directly to your soul, I ask you to do 3 things right now. First, leave a comment below. Tell me what part of this message impacted you the most. Your testimony could be the confirmation someone else desperately needs. Second, share this video with another believer who needs to awaken today. And third, make sure you're subscribed to this channel, because the journey of the strongest chosen ones doesn't end here. This is just the beginning of your true journey. The prophecy is true. Your calling is real. And now this is your moment.